Good afternoon, Facebook friends and family. I wanted to talk to you a few minutes today about rituals. Rituals. Rituals have a long-standing relationship with all of us and with our society. It has an especially deep meaning to those of us that have been part of any kind of spiritual or religious communities, as we often use ritual to symbolize things, to have a shared experience together, and they give us great comfort, and they give us a great opportunity to have expression as a community. So rituals are really important. When we talk about rituals in worship, commonly we have a picture in our mind about what does that mean? What is that? And so we have sort of a pattern that we do in worship. And different churches have different patterns. Different churches put things in different places, or different faith communities have different patterns. Most faith communities have some pattern of prayer. They have some pattern of praise. They have some pattern of proclamation. And they have some pattern then of also then going forth. Hi, Deborah, I see you. And so we have together created these different rituals in order for us to share these experiences and create a shared experience together that feels like an us. And so sometimes we get kind of stuck in those rituals. And so if somebody does something outside of the ritual at all, it really shakes us. And so, for example, if you go to a new church and you're a pastor, and you forget the second hymn, or you change the pastoral prayer to a different part of the service, or God forbid you forget the offering or the passing of the peace or something like that. If you do that, then it tends to upset the apple cart. People like the rhythm. They like knowing what's coming next. They like the ritual of it all. And so those things are not just worship things either. They tend to also be part of our daily lives, because we have rituals. I'm sure you do. We have rituals that are part of our everyday. We have a ritual of going to work or coming home from work. We have a ritual as to what time we like to eat dinner. We have a ritual as to when we take a shower, is it the morning or the evening, or are you a bathtub person? We have a ritual as to what we like to drink in the mornings. Do you like coffee? Do you like water? Do you like milk, juice? You have many rituals that are part of your everyday life, and that provides stability. It provides comfort, some sort of knowing, and it decreases your stress. So in these weeks, we have had an upset of all of our rituals, or at least a great majority of them. All of a sudden, we can't go to work, or we can't go over to see our friend like we do every evening or every other Saturday or whatnot. We can't do handshakes or hug people when we see them. There's a lot of rituals that this is messing with, and the church is not immune to this. The church rituals are currently in a great state of flux, because we have to determine right now, what are the rituals that translate easily into online worship services, and what are the ones that don't, and why? And even if they translate as a kind of a meta-narrative over the things, when you start talking about specifics of the how-to, when you change the ritual of the church to an online format, there's a lot that you can do different, and then there's a lot of things that get lost that people miss. So it's a funky thing to do a call to worship with a call and response when the people that would respond and maybe are responding at home, you can't hear them, and the community can't hear them. So these rituals, these things that we've done for a while, have made an imprint, and we find all kinds of good things as part of that, and we feel connected with people, and I get that. But again, I go back to, we are in a season of exceptional change. Now, change is always hard, but change is always inevitable. From the time that you're born to the time that you die, a lot changes. And even things that you think you've done it that way forever, if you really think about it, you probably haven't. Now for me, I'm the weirdo that has moved literally dozens of times in my life. Most of the time, not because I wanted to, but because the situation demanded it. And so because of that, I find that in this moment, it feels strangely normal, not the pandemic part of it, but it feels strangely normal to be in a situation where you are forced into a different state of being. You're forced to look at things differently. You're forced to enact different ways of interacting with people, get to know new people, try new things. It seems as though I have done that over and over and over and over in my life. And for many years, I fought with that. And I would get depressed when things, didn't go my way or when I had to change myself. But I have found the older that I get, the less helpful that is to me and to everyone around me. If change is inevitable, and that's a normal and natural part of life, even when it's unnatural in a situation like a pandemic, change always is happening. And you've already been dealing with so many different changes. Maybe you're going to have to think about how the rituals of your life can change to meet this moment. And instead of thinking, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that, and spend so much of your life of every day thinking about what you miss, I encourage you again and again and again, think about the rituals that you can enact in this moment that will make this moment its own holy space. Some of the rituals that we're working on in my own household, we're doing rituals of having a movie night. We've been doing movie night once a week. Paul is lobbying hard for movie night to be twice a week now, and I'm considering it. Another thing that we have implemented in my house beyond homeschool is all this extra film school and now voiceover school. As I learn how to be more interactive online, I am conscripting my children to help me with this process, not just because I think that they're awesome and I love sharing them, but also because I believe that teaching them how they can be a part of all this and how they can lean into this and how it can be a fun project for us together, how we can live into this moment together is very important. Because how we react to these emergency moments, these situations where life changes in dramatic ways, is not just important for ourselves, but for our children. So I would encourage you to think about the rituals that you are starting right now, some of which you may want to keep even when life goes back to whatever the new normal is. But know that as we change rituals with the church in particular to our online services and online offerings, that we really are trying to live up to and lean into this moment. And we pray for your help with that. And we also pray for your support in all of those things. And so we're all glad that you're with us. Thank you so much for watching these Facebook Lives. I'm just trying to stay connected with you and add something positive to your life. And hopefully that's working out. But God bless each of you. I love you. And take care. Bye-bye.